This versus video will be the first video on this channel as part of the series discussing Sith's Rule of Two in the legend continuity, a lineage lasting for a millennium until its final destruction in the Galactic Civil War. Darth Sidious and Darth Vader were the last generation of Bane's line, considering reborn Palpatine did not follow the doctrine and gave no Sith title to Luke Skywalker during their short-time master-apprentice relationship. Also, I would say Lumiya and Caedus are actually not a complete generation, for the Dark Lady was never a true certified Sith Lord, and she merely introduced Caedus to take on the title and continue the lineage before his own sister neutralized him. In this video, we will be analyzing Darth Vader vs Darth Zannah, aka the comparison between the first and last apprentice of Bane's lineage. We will be examining their physical capabilities, dueling skills, and force abilities with a bonus discussion on their importance of the Sith history. Born 41 years before the Battle of Yavin on the planet Tatooine, Anakin Skywalker is no mere mortal or force-sensitive individual, for he is the product of the Force reaction towards the reigning Sith Lord Darth Plagueis and his apprentice Darth Sidious' experiment. It is said that should he reach his full potential, he will inevitably surpass both Darth Sidious, the most powerful Sith Lord of his era, and Grandmaster Yoda, probably the most powerful Jedi in 1,000 years. Trained in Jedi Order after being free from slavery, Skywalker have become one of the greatest knights of his era and have defeated the Sith apprentice Darth Tyrannus at the end of the Clone Wars. Being seduced to the dark side by Palpatine, aka Darth Sidious, he took on the title of Darth Vader and was defeated by his Jedi Master Obi-Wan Kenobi because of his own arrogance and his opponent's knowledge of his skills. Vader have to remain in a cybernetic suit and serving Emperor Palpatine for the rest of his life until his son Luke Skywalker brought him back to the light side of the Force. Destroying the Emperor and restored balance to the Force, Vader Anakin finally fulfilled the prophecy of his destiny. Born nearly 1,000 years before the Battle of Yavin, Rey was a Jedi Padawan before she ran into Darth Bane on planet Ruthon after the destruction of Brotherhood of Darkness. The Sith recognized Rey's potential and taken her as an apprentice. Henceforth, she was known as Darth Zannah. She trained under Bane and was the first apprentice in the lineage of Rule of Two. Zannah and Bane were discovered by Jedi and they managed to destroy the strike team that was sent to neutralize them in 990 before Battle of Yavin. Tricking the Jedi into believing the Sith have perished, Zannah continued her training for another decade under Darth Bane, and a series of events eventually led to their duel on the planet of Ambria. Although Zannah was nearly defeated by Darth Bane in a lightsaber duel, Zannah still overpowered the Sith with Sith sorcery. She took on Darth Cognos as a new apprentice and continued her master's legacy. Physical capabilities. Vader's body was enhanced by the cybernetic suit he wears after he lost all limbs on Mustafar. He stands nearly 2 meters tall in the suit and was able to strangle a rebel officer to death at the beginning of the first movie. However, his physical prowess is not restricted by the life-sustaining suit. In canon or legend comics, Vader has shown to be capable of fighting for a long time with his suit damaged and his limbs broken. He tanked lightsaber strikes and blast bolts, explosion from kyber crystal, and can strike faster than most of Jedi of his time. He is able to survive blasters from AT-AT Walker and continue to perform powerful feats. He is able to tank the explosion from a mountain of kyber crystal. This is largely due to his immense force, but he still have great physical capabilities in his suit and body. All of this would not be possible if he have not physical prowess. It needs to be noted that despite his defeat in the throne rooms, Vader is nerved by his inner conflict as the fight requires his full attention. While he is unwilling to kill his son, he would have kept fighting even if he suffered greater damage than a single mechanic hand. Zannah is slim and strong, but has no outstanding muscles or mechanical enhancement to provide her with strength that is able to kill adult human beings. Shorter and slimmer build have given Zannah more agility than most of her peers, and by the time of her 30s, she was still in good shape of an athletic build with no clear degradation from the dark side of the Force. Her agility is what keeps her from falling to the blade of Jedi Knights and Darth Bane in their duel, and Zannah have definitely made best use of her physical capabilities to its full potential. Being able to contend the speed and power of Darth Bane, unlike Vader, Zannah have no distinguishing feats of physical prowess, but she does have a great endurance. She never leaves herself in poor physical conditions and have never shown to be tanking any fatal attacks physically. She did manage to last long enough dueling two Jedi Knights with one disrupting their overall combat, and she was never truly exhausted, and she managed to continue fighting with a broken bone and tanking Darth Bane's various force strikes. Overall, Vader has superior physical capability of applying his strengths and using his body as a weapon, as well as showing greater endurance feats. Zannah is able to utilize her body for the benefit of agility and endurance, but she has no advantage in direct physical combat. Vader clearly gets an advantage here, for he has more chances to apply his physical capabilities as a weapon and is shown to have more feats of endurance. His suit is a problem, of course, but it is unlikely Zannah would be able to take advantage of his weakness with her physical capabilities alone. Dueling. Vader is a great duelist before and after he found himself in that suit. As a Jedi, he defeated Count Dooku, who is far more experienced and a master of Makashi. He is about to defeat many Jedi Masters and Knights during the Imperial rule, although before he reached his prime, he suffered losses and had to use other means to gain victories or survive. As a lightsaber duelist, Vader used Form 5 as his basis and added in sequences from Ceresu, Juyo, and Makashi. His dueling is unpredictable and aggressive, wielding precise skills as well as applying his physical advantage. He is easily one of the best duelists of his time. Only Emperor Palpatine and several Jedi is able to match or surpass his skills. A main controversy of Vader's experience is that whether his opponents is really powerful or just Jedis in hiding lacking courage and skills. I would say Vader's experience is his great advantage, for although we would certainly claim that Jedi Order is far from its prime during the Clone Wars, when they actually lack experience of dueling combat and have been nerfed by the dark side of the Force, Vader still hunted down hundreds of Jedi and some best duelists of his days, gaining experience in lightsaber dueling more than anyone of his days. In conclusion, Vader is not the greatest lightsaber duelist of Sith Order or Jedi Order, but he is a master of dueling and combat for sure, freeing himself from specific styles and sequences to become the most deadly Jedi hunter of all time, if not one of. Thus, Zannah mainly used Ceresu in her combat, and is a master of that form in her own right, being able to stand against two Jedi Knights with physical superiority with relative ease when concerned. Zannah's style is overall defensive, but that does not mean she is a bad duelist or she is always passive in lightsaber combat after all. Unlike Vader, Zannah needs to remain invisible from Jedi, so she nearly never engaged them until all but necessary. Her only opponent for a long time is her master, who is definitely one of the best lightsaber duelists of Sith Order of all time. Zannah does not hope to defeat her master in lightsaber combat, so her overall skill and strategy is to remain defensive and create opportunity to using her force abilities. Being passive to Bane does not cancel her capability of attack, for she is able to defeat the Dark Jedi set Haas with no much effort or hurting him in a duel. manifesting great agility and skills of attack. She does lose to a prime thus Bane, but without a long time struggle and exchange of force attacks, and her capabilities of defending herself from Bane's unpredictable new sequences are incredible. Zannah is completely able to defend herself from any aggressive fighters for a very long time and have no problem applying agility in attack if she finds the time right. In conclusion, Vader and Zannah are both blade masters of their own right, as Vader being able to attack and defeat nearly all opponents of his days in various circumstances, applying different skills and attacking methods, while Zannah could contend with one of the greatest lightsaber duelists in all Star Wars history and have no problem controlling the fight with inferior opponents. However, Vader does have more experience to stand his ground in different situations, penetrating the defense of different opponents. It is not to say Zannah will fall short of her skills, but Vader's aggressive style and flexibility, backed up by experience, will likely have her act cautiously and remain defensive in their combat, giving Vader a slight edge.